Hello, and welcome back to another 10-minute Isles rant. That's not easy to say. 10-minute Isles rant video, which is what I've decided to call these. Every game day, or maybe sometimes even not on game days, I'm going to talk about the Islanders for 10 minutes straight, mostly unedited. And because I love hockey, I love the Islanders, and I love to make videos, so you combine all three of those things. Here we are. Today, I want to tell the story about how I became a New York Islanders fan. Obviously, if you know me, follow me anywhere else, you know that I do not live in New York. I live in Florida. I was born on Long Island, 1995, so did not see the 80s Islanders. Do not even remember much of the Islanders when I was younger. I did grow up going to games at the Coliseum, but I only lived in New York until I was 8 years old, so yeah, I don't really remember much from when I was there. I do have early clips of me going to Islanders games. This will be one of those few edits I throw in, but I do want to show you the clip of me going to an Islanders game as a young child because it's my favorite video in the whole world.
Islander game.
Islander game. So let's go Islanders.
Let's go Islanders.
All
Put it
right.
on. I'm gonna putz around with Mommy. She's going.
So yeah, I have technically been an Islanders fan for a long time. But yeah, I've been going to Islanders games basically my whole life. We moved to Florida from New York when I was 8, and I didn't really watch hockey with my dad growing up. It was always on in the background. My dad is the diehard Islanders fan. He is why I'm an Islanders fan overall. But I didn't really watch the Islanders growing up. They were always on the TV in my house because my dad's watched every game that's ever been played ever since the day he was born. But it was always on in the background, and it always kind of had like a negative feel to me because we know how poor the Islanders were basically from the day I was born in 1995 to up until about, the past few years. They were very mediocre, very underwhelming. So my dad, the earliest memories I have of hockey is just my dad yelling at the TV, screaming, frustration, like rightfully so. But I was always like, I just never really got into sports. Like I watched like the World Series and the Super Bowl and all the major events and stuff, but I never really watched much of hockey. Fast forward to 2015, the New York Islanders versus Washington Capitals, round 1. Hadn't watched the season, but I was watching the playoffs with my dad because I'm like, this is fun. It was my birthday in 2015. In 2015, it would have been my 20th birthday, April 27th. We were in Orlando on vacation for my birthday, and it was the game that Tavares scored the overtime winner, like 10 seconds into overtime against Braden Holtby from like the sideboards, and I was like, I love this. So I watched the rest of the playoffs with him. Obviously, we know the Islanders did not win that series. And I'm ashamed to admit now that I then followed the Tampa Bay Lightning through the rest of those playoffs because I basically live in Tampa. And I had a bunch of friends that were Lightning fans, and I discovered that I really liked hockey. So I was like, I'm going to follow the Lightning, knowing very well that when this was all over, I was going to start watching the Islanders the next season. I never had intentions to become a Lightning fan. I never wanted to be a Lightning fan, but I wanted someone to root for because I decided that I really liked it. And I didn't have like a true dedication to the Islanders yet. I did by birth, but like I hadn't really watched any of the games. So I decided that I was going to follow the Lightning through those playoffs. Really, really cheered for them against the Blackhawks. I hate the Lightning now. They're probably, honestly, here's the thing. I don't live around Rangers fans, okay? I live around Lightning fans, and we have been demolished by the Lightning. Not demolished, we gave them a fucking fight last year. But since I've been into hockey, we've played the Lightning 3 times and have been eliminated by them 3 times. Obviously, I hate the Rangers. They're our rival, but I hate the Lightning because they're the fans that I grew up around. I wear this shit out in public here and I get taunted, okay? So, yeah. I hate the Lightning, but that season I did follow them. Was disappointed to see them lose to the Blackhawks in the Stanley Cup final that year. I actually still kind of have a distaste in my mouth for the Blackhawks because of that, and because just the whole organization, everything with Patrick Kane and all the accusations they've had this year. Ugh, the Blackhawks. They do have the best goal song though. You can't fight me on that one. I really do think that they do. But yeah, I followed the Lightning, was disappointed to see them lose in the Stanley Cup final. Now, am happy that they did not win in that Stanley Cup final. But yeah, that was it, and the Blackhawks lost, or the Lightning lost, excuse me, I'm winded. Meanwhile, I'm only 5 minutes in, I don't need to be rushing. But I decided that I was going to start watching hockey the next season. Watched Game 1 in 2015. And of course, I was lucky enough. I did not suffer like most Islanders fans because I've only been watching, truthfully, every single game. Haven't missed a game since the 2015-2016 season. So no, I did not go through most of the heartache and the pain that most Islanders fans my age went through. And all Islanders fans, you know, because Islanders fans my age didn't get the glory, or really 10 years earlier than me even, didn't get the glory, or, excuse me, didn't get the glory of the 80s Islanders or any of that jazz. But I did not suffer like other fans my age because I did not have to suffer through, you know, the mid-2000s to the mid-2010s Islanders. I have been very fortunate to watch the Islanders that I have. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm rambling. That's the point. It's a rant. The last Islanders home game I went to was in 2016. I was lucky enough to go to one of those games against the Florida Panthers. It was Game 3. Thomas Hickey in overtime. Couldn't have picked a better game to go to other than, obviously, that final one. But now Tavares won that one, so I'm like, I'm glad I was there for Thomas Hickey's overtime goal instead. It was an incredible game, down 3-0, almost down 3-0, overturn the third goal, we come back, tie it up, go to overtime, Thomas Hickey in overtime. I can still see it happening in my head. It was incredible. That was the last Islanders home game I've went to. I've been to almost every game that the Islanders have played in Tampa since then, not the playoffs. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't go to the Islanders playoff games here, and there's been so many in recent years. It's just like, ugh, it's tough. It's tough. I haven't gone, but like I just don't imagine that. Like going and losing would not be a good time. Like at least if you go to a home game and you lose, you're with your fellow fans. It's not like that. Meanwhile, the Tampa fans are not very vicious. You hear how quiet they are on TV. But I don't like, every regular season Islanders game that they've played in Tampa since 2015-16 I've probably been to. I've been to a couple over in Hollywood, Florida also. I really like the Panthers arena. There's just so many Islanders fans there because there's not as many Panthers fans as there is Lightning fans. But yeah, that's pretty much how I became an Islanders fan. It was that 2015 Tavares goal. I don't remember what game that was. Game 3? Game 5? No, it wouldn't have been 5 because we didn't have home ice. So it was 3 or 4. Was it 6? No, I don't know. I wasn't that into it then. But yeah, that was the moment I remember thinking like, man, I gotta watch hockey. And I haven't missed a game ever since. But yeah, I haven't had to suffer as much as most fans. But I do have to say that when I love something, when I, get attached to something, I am obsessed with the New York Islanders. Like, I consider myself a diehard fan. I know I haven't been watching as long as a lot of people have, but I love this team just as much as anybody does. I can guarantee you that. The day John Tavares left this team, oh my god, my wife has a video of me, I wish I could find it, of me on the phone with my dad being like, he's leaving, he's fucking leaving! We were losing it. Like, I was absolutely devastated. And obviously, we've turned things around, and it's been incredible. And I just love this team so much, and I really fucking think we have a shot this year. I really, really, really do think we have a shot this year. I'm so excited for the season to start. I'm sad that we're starting 2 days into the season because I'm on vacation right now. And if we would have started on opening night on Wednesday, I probably would have gotten 2 games before I have to go back to work on Saturday. But I close a lot at work, which is going to be tough this year. I'm in the same position, but at a new location. So last year, I was off by 5 most days, and I got to watch almost all the games. Not going to be the case this year. I'm going to have to tape some and watch them later, which I actually don't know how that's going to work with a lot of the games being on ESPN. We'll figure it out. Anyway, that's pretty much your rant for today. That's how I got into the Islanders. Haven't been watching for super long, but basically through my prime years, I love this fucking hockey team. I love hockey. I'm so excited to even just watch some of the games that are on tonight. I'm excited to see how the Washington Rangers game goes. But yeah, that's it. Make sure you hit subscribe if you want to hear me rant about the Islanders. I have a good plan for rants on the post games. So stay tuned for that. If you like hockey, if you like the Islanders, like and subscribe. All that jazz if you want to. Thanks for watching. Let's go Islanders, baby.